Hettie Bagshot had never been keen on the prospect of going away for Christmas. Since settling in to Betty and Beryl Butter's storeroom at the back of their popular bakery, she had finally found a place she could call home. Along with her best friend, Tilly Jenkins, she had created the No. 2 Feline Detective Agency, and, after a bit of a shaky start, the business was blooming. Before meeting up with Hettie one Christmas Eve, Tilly had suffered the indignities and dangers of being a homeless cat. Now she was the homemaker, and had turned the Butter Sisters' storeroom into a cosy bedsitter, with all the comforts a cat could desire, with the added bonus of a daily pie and as much coal as their small fire could consume in return for the very low rent they paid to their landladies. Betty and Beryl Butter were 2 white cats from Lancashire who had come south to the town to seek their fortune. To say they were born with flour on their paws would be an understatement. Their mother had schooled her daughters in the making of pies, pastries, cakes and breads as soon as they could wield a rolling pin. Buying up the town's old rundown bakery with the money their mother left them had started as an adventure. Now they had become legends in their own mixing bowls, and the townsfolk flocked to their shop on a daily basis, buying up their freshly baked goods by 3 in the afternoon. The lead-up to Christmas had been busy for the Butters, and for Hettie and Tilly. Betty and Beryl had been flat out since Halloween, creating seasonal treats and duplicating them in huge numbers for their customers. Hettie and Tilly had been engrossed in a nasty case of poison pen letters being circulated around the town, and had caught the perpetrator fair and square, with the help of Squeak, the town's postcat. The culprit had been apprehended as she posted one of her venomous notes in the letterbox opposite the bakery. Triumphant from solving yet another case, Hettie had decided that their detective agency would take a long and well-earned break over the Christmas holidays, giving her and Tilly time to eat, drink, be merry, and doze by a winter fire. Traditionally, Hettie, Tilly, and their friend Bruiser, who drove their red motorbike and sidecar, and had once slept rough but now lived in a shed at the bottom of the Butters' garden, would celebrate Christmas Day with Betty and Beryl in their flat above the bakery, where their table groaned with every festive delight imaginable. But back at the beginning of December, Betty had made a shock announcement. "Sister and I have been thinking. As we'll be baking ourselves stupid up until Christmas, we thought we'd treat ourselves to Christmas away from the town, and, 'cause we think of you as family, we'd like to take you all with us." Tilly and Bruiser had been delighted at the prospect, but Hettie felt immediately unsettled and, as Christmas approached and the Butters' plans were rolled out, her anxiety increased. The Butters had called a series of meetings to discuss the various possibilities of where they might go, and it was eventually decided that the Fishgutter's Arms, beyond the much purrings, would be a suitable venue. The vote was easily carried, although Hettie chose to abstain on the basis of a lack of detail over the contents of the Christmas dinner, and the fact that Beryl had found the place in a small, understated advertisement in the Daily Snout. The final meeting was to be held on the day before Christmas Eve, "to dot the mince pies and cross the milky teas," as Betty had put it.